there's a whole unique ecosystem going on there, and you don't want to disrupt the ecosystem. What's up, lovelies, and welcome to today's video. If it's the first time here, my name is Anna, and today we are talking feminine hygiene. I'm going to be sharing with you 15 or 14 tips that I have for you, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Dive into today's video, I just want to say that this is not a vagina. We live in an era where premarital sex has become a normal thing, but it's kind of like a taboo or restricted or found if you mention the word vagina or penis. But not on this channel. Here we are plain and say things as they are. If you're not comfortable, then I don't know what to say. This is a vulva. So if you're going to be teaching your younger ones the right thing about their reproductive health, please use the right words, because they need to be comfortable in knowing about their body, so that they don't learn it from the internet, or they don't learn it from other external sources except from me. Because if they learn bad stuff from outside, it's very, very difficult for them to unlearn what they already know. So let's just teach our young ones the right thing. That takes me to tip number 1. If you are in your period, make sure that you are changing your sanitary towels every 3 to 4 hours. If you use tampons says that it can last up to about 8 hours, but I don't want to be keeping that thing in there for 8 hours. Every 3 to 4 hours, you need to change your sanitary towel or your tampon, because it gets soaked up with blood, and when there is blood exposed to oxygen, it's oxidizes also, and then it makes it a very good nutritious breeding ground for bacteria. And when you have bacteria growing in there, it can lead to infections and itching and discomfort and a bad smell. So you need to try and change your pads every 3 to 4 hours to avoid bacteria build up and any kind of discomfort. Now, which leads me to the next point, which says that invest in a very good sanitary towel. If one sanitary towel does not work for you, change it to another one, but do not buy a sanitary pad that contains fragrance. Some sanitary towels are not comfortable. They tend to wrap onto the vulva and makes it very, very discomforting, and the presence of fragrance to just makes the whole just makes the entire area more irritable. So invest in a very good sanitary towel without fragrance, and change your sanitary towels every 3 to 4 hours. There's some dermatologists out there that say you do not need to bath 2 times a day. I think they said you need to bath once a week or so. If you're about that life, okay, try to clean your area, the vulva, at least 2 times a day, when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed. At the end of the day, we have gone through a lot of activities, physical activity. There is always dirt, pee, and bacteria buildup, and the last thing you want to do is to have an area that is supposed to be clean and comfortable, filled with bacteria and dirt. It's just going to lead to some infections and also a very, very bad odor. Now, if you are about the intimate wash life, you need to ensure that you are using an intimate or feminine wash that does not contain soap. Now you'll be asking, okay, and how would I know it doesn't contain soap? Read the label. It is on the label. And always get one that is pH balanced for your feminine area. If you use one that contains soap, soap has a pH level of about 9 to 10, which is like alkaline, I guess. But the pH of your of your aura is about 4.5, which is about acidic, I guess. Yes, so you do not want to use one that has a very high pH. You're just going to destabilize the aura and the entire ecosystem that is going on down there. There's some bacteria that live in your feminine area that helps to keep the entire area the way it's supposed to be kept. So you do not want to use a soap-based wash that is going to basically kill or neutralize the bacteria there and make way for unhealthy bacteria to come in. So if you have to use a feminine wash, use one that is pH balanced, that is 4.5, and does not contain soap or fragrance. You should also try to wear cotton panties all the time. I know some people say they don't really like cotton panties because they don't look nice. There are some really fancy looking cotton panties. There are some really nice cotton looking panties out there. So invest in breathable panties, especially cotton panties, because one, cotton helps to soak any kind of moisture that is released from your skin as a result of your daily activity. It also contains enough pores or holes in the entire panty for enough air to come in and out. So investing in good cotton panties is very important. But if you don't like cotton panties, like lace panties, get a lace panty that has an inner cotton lining, and make sure that you are changing your panties every 3 to 6 months. or at most every 6 months. Now, talking about wearing panties, one thing I know is that you do not need to wear them at night when you are going to bed. You wear it throughout the day with all the sweat and all the friction. The lady parts need to breathe, so if you go to bed at night, there is no need for you to wear a pants. You cannot do that, invest in female boxers or wear a very loose shorts to go to bed, because air needs to flow and lady parts needs to breathe and feel fresh. So at night, there is no need for you to wear. God knows why he designed our lady parts the way he designed it, and it has a natural smell. And if you have noticed, there's certain times in the month that the lady parts has a different smell, like the smell changes at different times of the month based on hormonal changes and also some environmental, but it has a particular way it's supposed to smell. It is not supposed to smell like a floral garden. It's not supposed to smell like strawberries and cranberries and grapes and all. It is supposed to smell the way it's supposed to smell like, unless of course the smell is very fishy and very offensive and you're having some discharges, then you need to see a doctor. But aside that, it's supposed to smell the way it's supposed to. I mean, that is where some of the pheromones are anyway. So there is no need investing in washes or stuff that promise you to make the entire place smell like what is not supposed to smell like, because sometimes these washes can throw your pH balance off, like I mentioned earlier. So just stick it to a normal warm water and a little towel to clean your lady parts. It's just enough. But if you want to use intimate washes, use one, like I said earlier, use one that is pH balanced, does not contain soap, and does not contain any kind of fragrance. So basically using one that is for sensitive. Back in the university, there was this rave about taking pineapples. Ladies were taking pineapples left, right, center, because they said pineapples makes you smell and taste good down there. But pineapples have finally gotten a competitor, and that is probiotics. Taking probiotics is very, very good for your general health, especially for a woman's health. Now, how can you get probiotics? You can get probiotics from taking fresh yogurt. But if you do not have access to fresh yogurt, you can always take a probiotic supplement, which you can get from health farms or health food or from pharmacies. Or if you're not sure, you can just talk to your gynecologist to recommend a very good probiotic that you can be taking for your entire general health. And especially probiotics that contain cranberries, because if you take cranberry juice or probiotics with cranberries, can help to, one, prevent UTIs and also make you feel fresh and smell fresh as you're supposed to, and just improve the general health of your reproductive system. The next point I have for you is to remember to shave often, at least every 2 weeks if you have to. Now, people are all about not shaving and keeping the place very bushy. One, it is not attractive, and two, it is a very good breeding ground for bacteria and dirt, and the pubic hairs that grows there traps these bacteria. It traps sweat, it traps pee, it traps poo, it traps all the things you don't want it to trap, and these things can end up some way, somehow, into where it's not supposed to go to, and lead to so many infections and discomfort. One thing you should know is that every individual has a distinctive smell that comes with them, in the private area. But sometimes these smell are as a result of our personal hygiene. So you need to be shaving the area very frequent in order not to provide a breeding ground for all these dirt and bacteria, because when these scents stay with you, it becomes very offensive, not just to yourself but to those around. To keep a packet of wipes with you if you're going out, especially if you have to use a public washroom. Now, when you use the wipes, especially wet wipes or water wipes, or ones for babies, because it doesn't contain fragrance and it's very gentle on the skin. So when you use the washroom, you can just use the wipes to clean your area, and then you pat it dry with any tissue that is available. Remember that you always have to keep the area dry as much as possible. It doesn't have to be moist, because when it's moist, there's bacterial growth, and when there's bacterial growth, there is always going to be a stench. So keeping a packet of wipes with you is very important, especially if you need to be out and about, and it just it just helps you to stay clean and fresh throughout. I know you have heard this over and over and over again, but taking a lot of fruit and water and eliminating soda in your diet is very good. If you've noticed, when the times in the day when you drink a lot of water, the color of your pee tends to be colorless without any kind of time that the water has submerged or flushed out a lot of toxins in your body. So your pee is just as clean as much as it can be. Taking a lot of fruits and drinking a lot of water is good for your general health and helps your intimate area stay fresh. And you're all being taught that when you visit the washroom, you need to wipe from front to back and not from the back to the front. But for me, I have a little twist. When you wipe from the front, you stop at the junction between the front and the back. God knows why he puts that flesh in between the vulva and the number 2 area. Where that flesh is, that is where you should stop. You don't want to introduce bacteria from your vulva into your back area and vice versa, because there's a whole unique ecosystem going on there and you don't want to disrupt the ecosystem. You don't want to introduce bacteria from your, where you go number 1 to where you go number 2 and vice versa. So if you need to wipe from the front and stop at the junction. If you need to wipe from the back, wipe just that area and you are good. This tip goes for my pregnant ladies. We tend to sweat a lot when we are pregnant, especially during the 3rd trimester. So if you have to go out, always have some panty liners on you. Panty liners will absorb all the sweat that would be excreted from the area anytime you are out. So using a panty liner is very good. When you visit the washroom and notice that the panty liner is soaked up, you just change it up, and it helps to keep the area dry as it's supposed to and keeps you fresh throughout the day. And not just for pregnant women. If you're someone that sweats a lot during your daily activities, you should always have some panty liners on you. Now to my bonus point is to take care of your oral health. Now we are all walking about wearing face masks, and people around you are not really going to perceive the funk from your mouth as much as you are. So take care of your oral health. Brush your teeth very well, use a dental floss, and that anytime you're out and about wearing a face mask, you don't have to be smelling all the funk that comes out from your own mouth. And another bonus point, if you are sexually active and above the age of 21, make it a conscious effort to always visit your gynecologist at least once a year, to have your pelvis checked, to have your cervix checked, just for them to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be and functioning the way it's supposed to function, so as to avoid any kind of long-term diseases that is going to just throw us off balance. So these are the points that I have for you for our feminine hygiene talk. I'd like to start a series on girl talk, so let me know what kind of topics you want us to be talking about, and I'll do my best to film a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.